Yo, new update's been out for 2 days, so I think it's enough time to kind of gauge the new races and give an updated race tier list. Start off, Chirruptran, I'm gonna put C. It's not really anything special. The base passive, like the innate passive buffs, are pretty bad. It's like holy attack and holy resistance debuff, but it only really fits on a priest build, but they're weak against priest, so it's kind of just below average. Next is Bunny. Now Bunny doesn't have any real stat passives, right? But the passives that it does get, like for example a dash passive, is very strong, and carry eating is really strong in combat. It's very strong in ganks. If this was like gank tier list, it'd be here, but granted ganks aren't really that influential and they don't really happen that much in this game, so I'm gonna put A. It's very good. Still, the dash is very strong. And just to preface, this tier list will be based on kind of a mix of both PvP and PvE. I personally care a lot more about PvP, but I know the general player base cares more about PvE, so it'll be catered towards both. And because of that, I'm gonna put Bunny in A. Next is Slime. Now Slime is very strong, right? It's always been strong, and the healing on Slime is what really makes this really good. Black Slime specifically, you heal a lot, both PvE and PvP. You get really good sustain. But a weak point with Slime is that it doesn't really get any stat passives, so this is kind of a weak point in it, but it kind of makes up for it, the fact that the actives for Slime are so good, right? So I'm gonna put it A. Next is Seraphim. Now Seraphim's interesting because it's a 1% race, but I really don't think it's that strong. I'm gonna put it right here, and this is for a couple reasons. Number one, the stat passives compared to the new 1% race are not nearly as good, right? You get 15 agility, which is like not noticeable at all, and then you get 6% attack buff, which is good, but the move you get as like the 4-wing move is not as strong as a 2-wing move, but the 2-wing move gets like a cosmetic stat buff, right? So the 2-wing move is really good. It has iframes, but the 4 and 6-wing move are kind of just lackluster, and their stat buffs are also not that good. Granted, you get 1 luck though, so I guess that's good, but there's now new ways to get luck, right? So luck isn't as good as it was before, in my opinion, because you have professions now, right? So I'm gonna put Seraphim in A. It's still good, but I just don't think it's like 1% race worthy good, Now next is Ghoul. Now Ghoul's interesting because I'd say before it was like here, but now I'm gonna comfortably put Ghoul here because of the evolution it gets. If you guys don't know, Ghoul has an evolution, and one of the evolution paths is actually very strong. I'm gonna show you it. So this one right here, Wraith, it gets really, like, these are very good stat buffs, and granted the move is pretty bad, but just these stat buffs alone kind of make up for the move not being that good. You get speed boost, and you get 5% attack buff depending on what build you're going. So I'm gonna put a B. Kind of purely just because of the stat buffs, right? Amphibu. Now Amphibu also got an evolution this update, and I also think it's really strong. Now the move for Amphibu is not, I mean, it's not bad, but it's kind of just average. But if you look at the new evolution to it, this one right here, I think personally is very good. You get a 15% stat boost, which is like insane. The biggest stat boost that you get on any other race is Allurian, which is 8%, and that is almost double Allurian. And not only that though, you still get there's still other options for you, right? This one is like DR and attack buff, but you lose speed. But I think Amphibu is actually really good now, and compared to Ghoul, like Amphibu's active is just directly better than Ghoul's active, because I mean Ghoul's active does like 10 damage. It's pretty bad. Next, now Allurian. Allurian kind of fell off. I was hoping they were going to give it an evolution this update, but they didn't. It's kind of just, it sits comfortably here. I'd say it's one of the worst. It kind of just got outscaled, and the stat buffs they're good, but they're just not, you don't compare them to any of these races, right? Now Elf got nerfed this update, and before I'd say Elf was like comfortable A tier, right? Like consistent on every single build. It got nerfed though. There's less, they cut the cooldown reduction in half, and a lot of other races just got stronger. So like for example Ghoul and Evolutions. So I'm gonna put it here. It's not bad. It still works on like almost every build. I just think that it kind of got outscaled, right? Human. Now Human is overall just good on everything, especially physical builds. You get DR and damage. I think it goes here personally. You really can't go wrong with human. Now, half golem. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I think half golem is the first S tier. Now, I had half golem and slime like kind of right next to each other, and nothing changed between them. Like none of them got buffed or nerfed, but I think half golem just like over time it just fits with everything. Like you can use a half golem on anything and it'll be really good, right? With the 3 paths, they kind of cover every kind of build that you can make, and the spikes on Ashura are like this is the best, like without a doubt the best option on Ashura. Although I do think half golem is a much better race than a better race than slime for samurai because of assault path and because samurai kind of is lacking in some damage, and this makes up for more than the damage that they lose. So that's why I'm putting half golem here. It could very well like be here depending on who you ask though. I just think it is super strong. Now Dullahan is interesting because a lot of people think it's pretty bad. It's not bad. I personally would put it like bottom A. It's just that it's not worth, like it's a 2% race and it's kind of lackluster, right? It did get buffed this up there. It didn't get buffed, but they reworked one of the passives. They just changed the values for the innate passive, and it's a good change, but still Dullahan's just kind of like weak when you compare it to other like races of that rarity, right? Orc. Now Orc is a dark horse. Not okay. Or I know people see Orc and they kind of get mad, but like they think it's kind of bad. I don't think Orc's bad. I think it's actually very good. I'd put it here personally. I think it's worse than human, but its passives, its innate passive, like passive buffs aren't that strong, right? It's health regen and hunger, but the active for Orc is like a top 3 move, right? That any race gets, in my opinion. If you're on striker, Orc is your best race like available, without a doubt, and that's just because of the setup that you have with the Orc move and like any of your striker kit, right? So because of the move alone, it goes in A tier. I know this is kind of like based on PvP, like this specific placement, but I still think it's like very good nonetheless. Like the move is disgusting, right? Now on to the 2 new races. I think both of these races, to start out, like preface, I think both these races are overtuned, and I think both of them go in S tier. Infernum is very strong. I'm gonna put Infernum right here for now, and this is purely because of the moves it gets. Now the 2-horn move is trash. I'm not talking about the 2-horn move, but the 4 and 6-horn move on Infernum are really, really, really strong. And if you compare it to Seraphim, these are kind of both comparable because they both get 1 luck, and they like their premise is kind of the same. You have like 3 different moves based on what path you go. But if you look at the stat buffs, I'm gonna pull them up right now. They're kind of just directly better on Infernum, right? 6% speed is like this shits on 15 in agility. If you compare Seraphim, it says 25, but it's 15 agility. So 6% speed to 15 agility is a lot better. And then 10% magic power. Now this race is kind of catered toward mages because the moves and these buffs, but 10% magic power is directly better than 6% physical power. And then 20% fire attack is obviously like, it's not really comparable to mana efficiency, but I still think these passives are just like directly better, direct upgrade. And these moves are broken right now, and they're probably gonna get nerfed, but these moves are very, very strong, aside from the 2-horn move. So they're probably gonna get nerfed, but I think it goes right there. And then I think Vampire, talk about Vampire a little bit. I think Vampire is really strong. Like Orc, this active right here is insane, okay? Now, it's insane in both aspects, PvE and PvP. It does so much damage in PvE. It does like 90 damage or 80 damage. And it procs bleed, which is super strong. And in PvP, this has really short windup and it still does a lot of damage, right? But to talk about the passive a little bit, I think these passives are not that crazy. But they are good, like pretty good in my opinion. This is just a net bonus. You get a net plus 5%. Like, these are pretty good. And then obviously this is bad. 15% increased damage from holy. I think this is the only weak point in this race, and that's why I don't think it's the best race out of all of them. Otherwise, like if take away that passive, I think it goes there. But it does have a clear weak point, which is priest. And then this is obviously really good, especially on samurai now, right? because you're gonna be proccing bleed most of the time. But yeah, that's pretty much the tier list. You can interchange these two, but yeah, that's it. Let me know what you guys think, what you guys would change. Yeah, peace.